These are typically accredited investors, correct?
Within the United States, yes.
Got it. And I think you briefly mentioned this before about interest rate sensitivity. How does the overall pricing, I'm assuming that this kind of acts more like gold and real estate. As interest rates go up, there's a baked-in inflationary kind of response where in 3 years you'll be able to sell that tequila for even more money as inflationary prices are baked into it. But is that true? Like it more or less the inflation is passed on in terms of the end and sales price for a lot of these casks?
Yeah, that's correct. The underlying asset of a cask is a bottle. So every cask, as we've discussed, will eventually be bottled and sold at retail. So if retail prices are higher, then in theory, wholesale prices, cask wholesale prices can also be pushed up as well.
Got it. And in terms of pricing, how does this work? I remember the typical cask from the Scotch conversation was about $5,000. How does that work with tequila?
Yeah, so in terms of an entry level tequila cask with us, you're looking at somewhere between 2,500 and $2,750.
Got it. Okay. You usually are you buying at all different ages, or you're just buying at the Blanco and then moving it across the line?
Just the Blanco, just the Blanco.
And you said the end buyer is always like these bigger brands. It's not other investors because there's no point of holding on from three. There's not much incentive.
Yeah, yeah. It's key. It's key, Dennis. It's something I missed at the start of the call. We wanted to bring more transparency. We wanted to bring unique opportunities, but we also wanted to bring higher liquidity to our investors as well, which is something that traditionally you don't really get within cask investments. Essentially, if you're operating the exit strategy primarily in the retail client or private investor market, the investor has got far less liquidity because that's a much, much smaller market. We establish relationships with retail brands, as we've discussed, and this allows us to provide greater liquidity to our clients because, as I've said, that market is so vast, expanding somewhere from 16 million around that mark to above 40 million within the next 8 to 10 years. It's sold on to the brands.